to kind of think, I know what's coming. Notre Dame wasn't really disguising a lot of it, and still not be able to stop it.
Yeah, it was tough. You try to respond and you really do all you can, but at the end of the day, they were just a better team, and so we gotta take this loss, watch the film, study it, see what we did wrong, and just move on to the next game, move on to Louisville, and but it does hurt, but we can't dwell on it too much. Just gotta watch the film, just get ready for the next game.
Do you feel like it was more just guys getting knocked out of gaps, wrong run fits, execution type things, or more what Notre Dame was doing?
I think it was really more on us. We got to be more disciplined with our gaps. No one needs to be a superhero. I'm not talking about anyone in general. Just do your job, and the plays will make themselves. But we just got to be more disciplined as a defense, stay in our gaps, and then we'll stop them. And we weren't doing that, so we just got to move on.
How hard is it to just get physically dominated to the point where everybody in the stadium knows what they're going to do, and they're still doing it, like on third and long, running right between the tackles? As somebody who has a lot of pride in your defense and what you thought you guys were going to be, how difficult is that to take?
Yeah, it's tough. It's really, during the game, you try to make adjustments, and as I said, at the end of the day, they were just the better team. So, again, we just got to watch the film, get better, and it hurts. But, it's nothing we can do about it now. Just learn from our mistakes, move on to the next opponent, which is Louisville, and just, fix some mistakes and translate it to the next game and just dominate Louisville and dominate the opponents that we're going to be playing up next.
Barrett, do you think you guys, as much as it hurts now, do you think you guys can get back in that college football playoff conversation if you do your job and finish strong?
Of course, and we're never losing faith. We know what our goals are as a team, so that's always going to be the end goal. So this loss that we just took, it's no demoralization throughout the team. We're still focused. We still know what all we can accomplish. All of our goals are still on the table, and you never know what can happen in throughout the whole college football. So we're just gonna go to work, and whatever happens, but we're gonna keep fighting as a team and just finish as strong as we can.
What have you seen out of Louisville's offense? Obviously, Cunningham's a dynamic player. What do you know about him, and what have you seen from their offense so far this year?
For sure. They have a lot of athletes on the team. They have a good O-line, good backs. Obviously, Malik Cunningham's a very dynamic, athletic quarterback, probably one of the most, if not the most athletic that we're going to see. So, again, we try to be disciplined in our run fits, in our gaps. Don't try to do too much. Just do your job, and everything will fall into place. But, they're going to run the ball early downs. They're going to take shots. So if we just do our job and just play Clemson defense, and we'll handle business.
I guess how disappointing is it that it's literally just guys just have to do what you're told to do and just do your job, and that didn't happen? I guess, why do you think that happens?
That's tough. They just dominated us. They were the better team that day. I tip my hat to Notre Dame. They're a well-coached, historic, great program, and they had us all had it up on Saturday. So I tip my hat to them. They had a great plan for us, and we at the end of the day we couldn't stop it. So I tip my hat to them. We have to get better, and we have to just watch the film, move on, and just move on to Louisville, and we will do that.
As this linebacking core has sort of taken some lumps this year as first-year starters in the current positions, does it give you a greater appreciation of guys like Skalski and Spector, who had that institutional knowledge built up over years and years of knowing exactly where to be and precision and things like that, and in the areas you're talking about, like the front fits and such?
Yeah, so having them was, they made everything so much easier, and they were students of the game. So, when I was coming in, they helped me a lot with that. And I think we're just trying to sort of pick up where they left off, just being students of the game like that, kind of knowing what's happening before it even happens. So, of course, we're still working every day to get better and strive to just, keep being students of the game, keep learning what offenses are going to do, so we kind of know what to expect, just like they would, just like Skalski and Balin would. But, they taught us a lot, so we're just trying to we're just trying to learn from them and pick up where they left off, especially being students of the game like that.
This is another quarterback that can't let him out of the pocket. If he does, he can take it. What kind of challenge does he present?
You definitely have to be on your toes every single play, know where he is, make sure if it's like an option play that he for sure gives the ball, because if he pulls it, he can make a play with his feet. So it's just going to take a lot of discipline from the defense, good eyes, good technique, and just being smart. But really, good eyes is the main thing, knowing who has the ball and being sure of that, because if he pulls it, he can make a big play and he can take it to the house. So as long as we just stay on our P's and Q's, we should be fine handling.
Have you watched any of the film from Notre Dame? Yeah. I mean, how difficult do you feel like it's going to be today, just going through all that again?
I think it's going to be as difficult as you make it. If you take that game as a lesson learned and just take it on the chin, then it's never as good as it seems, never as bad as it seems. Of course, that was bad, but you take it as a lesson, you move on, and you just try to correct those mistakes and just apply them to the next game. So yeah, I watched the film. Yeah, it wasn't pretty, but it's nothing we can do about it now. Just try to move on and just not make the mistakes in the next few games.
How do you mentally reset and prepare for the week?
I just rest, really. Sometimes just take my mind off of football, just play video games. I'll do anything, just take my mind off of football. But when the time comes, I know when to lock in and just really focus on what's to come, what opponents we're facing. But it can't be all ball all day. You have to let your mind reset and let your mind heal from whatever just happened. So I've rested, but now I'm attacking Louisville. I watched the game. We're putting that to bed soon. So I'm on Louisville now, though.
Does that make you, even this afternoon, when you finally get put on the pads and the helmet again, walk out on the practice field, that it's finally done, and now you're fully invested in another week? Is that helpful? Is it healing to just say, okay, that's done now?
Mm-hmm. Especially after film, film is going to be tough because we're going to watch some of the game. We're going to see the mistakes, so that'll be tough. But shoot, once we step on the practice field, it's go time. You got to just flip the switch, just know that we're on to the next opponent, and there's nothing we can do about the last game, but just move on and try not to make those mistakes again. So, once we step on the practice field, we just got to go and just attack Louisville, and that's all we can do at this time.
Barrett, can you guys draw on the fact that, 2 years ago you lost at Notre Dame and then came back, beat them in the ACC title game. Last year, 4-3, finished with 6 wins. Can you draw on some of the resiliency you guys have shown in the past?
Yeah, we know the feeling that is losing when we don't like that feeling. And last year's team, we have a greater appreciation for all that it takes to win. And no matter who you're playing in college football, winning is hard. And that's playing teams at the bottom, teams at the top. Winning is hard to do. It's so much mentally, physically, emotionally that goes into the game of football. So, last year's team, we learned how to persevere. We learned how to get through all the adversity. So just carrying that over to this year, this loss, it hurts, yeah, but we're not, we're just gonna move on, and we know what it takes to be great. We're just gonna be resilient and just move on to the next opponent. But no, last year's team definitely showed us all that takes to go into winning for sure.
I guess what kind of video games do you play?
I play Madden, 2K, Fortnite, I play everything. I play everything, really. I don't discriminate with video games. I'll play anything. Yeah.
Any questions for Barrett from Zoom?
Barrett, this is Matt with ClemsonSports.com. Do you feel like Notre Dame was doing stuff schematically that kind of got y'all out of position, or was doing stuff from a scheme standpoint that kind of gave you trouble, or is it more just lining up and, I guess, kind of pushing y'all around, for lack of a better term?
I think at the end of the day, they just dominated us. I don't think they did anything too spectacular to win the game. I think they just dominated us, and we can't allow that to happen going against any opponent. So I think that's on us as a defense. We just got to step up to the plate and just put our big boy pants on and just fight back. And at the end of the day, we didn't do that. So I tip my hat to Notre Dame. They played a great game. They had a great plan for us, but we just have to play better as a defense, and we didn't do that.
Hey Barrett, this is Anna Adams with Clemson dominated. I know there's obviously a feeling of disappointment among the defense, but those are also a feeling maybe of anger in that it wasn't like you got beat schematically, but like you said, it was more of a physical domination.
Yeah, I think if you're not angry about what happened last game, then you shouldn't be playing the sport. You know that it was embarrassing, honestly, and just to line up and not essentially be able to do anything about the run game. So there's definitely a lot of anger. So we just got to turn that pain into passion and just use that as fuel for the next game and just move on, correct the mistakes, and just prepare for Louisville.
All right, thank you, Barrett.
Thank you all.